I've got the Week 11 edition of the JP poll in my hand. These are not rankings. So the playoff rankings just came out tonight. I cannot, in strong enough terms, remind you, this right here, what I have in front of me, these are not meant to mirror what I think the playoff rankings should look like. These are not rankings. These are power ratings. So you can take all the playoff teams and playoff rankings, but if you want to know how those teams would stack up against each other on a neutral field, pure power rating standpoint, that's what this is. I've got the model right next to me here, and it spits out our own numbers. So these are not exactly what FanDuel would have. There'll be a lot of similarities, but there's some notable differences. There's some teams we're higher on than FanDuel's traders would be. Some teams we're lower on. So one thing I want to tell you, in fact, a couple of things that I want to tell you as I get into this. We don't have any G5 teams in the top 25, but we almost do. James Madison, we've got 4 points better than the next closest G5 team. The model is sky high on James Madison. It almost has James Madison top 25. And that is saying something in a power rating for a G5 team. So that's the first thing. Second thing, 19 of the top 25 are from the Big Ten and the SEC. That's not bias. That's just power rating. That's how that works. Georgia Tech, you'll notice that we never had them in the top 20. Now, in my rankings I have, in power ratings, the model has not really been that high on Georgia Tech. They are 38th this week. One loss Georgia Tech, 38th. Just to kind of give you some calibration here. Ohio State is the number 1 team. UMass, currently playing, is number 61. Well, actually number 136. Ohio State, the model would have as a 61-point favorite against UMass right now. UMass, I kid you not, tried a flea flicker on their opening play tonight and fumbled it and turned it over. It's a tough time right now for UMass. Nowhere to go but up, though. Michigan kind of quietly dropping a little bit. Like Michigan, they won against Purdue, came nowhere close to covering, so they're underachieving relative to what expectation is. Michigan's dropped 4.5 points since week 4. Their power rating numbers dropped 4.5 points. So those are just some things to keep in mind. All right, number 20, LSU. 19, Vanderbilt. 18, Iowa. So models got Iowa higher than the playoff committee does. Missouri is number 17. Missouri's got A&M this week. They are a 7.5-point dog at home against A&M. LSU is wait, I wrote this down wrong. Who's number 16? Louisville's number 16. That's bad handwriting. My LOU looked like LSU. That's so terrible. So, top 15 here. I'm going to stop at 15 for a second. So, USC is number 15. Now, the model dropped USC after last week. This is where we differ from rankings. USC went on the road and won. Yes, they did. USC also benefited from Dylan Raiola going down in a game where at that point they were trailing. And the model thinks that USC only won that game because Nebraska lost its quarterback, and it's not rewarding USC. It actually dropped them a point. So USC is at 15. Not that you should have your feelings hurt about that. I'm just trying to explain to you why they dropped. OU, Oklahoma 14. Miami is at 13. Texas Tech is at 12. Tennessee's at number 11. So Tennessee, there's been a lot talked about this week. There have been some irresponsible quote edits and graphics put out that takes something I said on our show the other night out of context and makes it sound like I trashed Tennessee fans. I didn't. So my take on it was, hey, I'm not down on Josh Heupel in Tennessee right now. And I had some fringe Tennessee fans text me and talk about how down on Heupel they were. And I said, you shouldn't be down on him. Stop talking about hot seat with him. In the aggregate, they're actually better than I thought they were going to be in the preseason, where I thought they were going to be 8-4. So I don't do my recalibration of expectation like some people do. Like there's some people coming at me this week. It doesn't matter if you thought they were going to go 7-5. Once they almost beat Georgia, it's on. You should recalibrate your expectation. No, I don't do that because that's stupid. So what I've done is I've thought they were going to go 8-4, and the guy may end up going 9-3. The model has bumped them up 2.5 points in their power rating from the preseason. So they've actually been a little bit better than the model expected them to be. So in the overall grand scheme of things, I'll look at what Josh Heupel's done this year. It's not without criticism. That's fine. But anyone thinking the guy's underachieved, I don't think he has. The model doesn't think he has. But that's okay. because some dude named John on Twitter does think he has, so whatever. Utah's number 10. Hey, wait just a second. Appreciate you guys watching. Most of you are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. It's free. It helps us keep the show free, and that's how we do college football year-round. All right, back to the video. Utah, according to the model, would be a 1-point favorite against Texas Tech if they played today on a neutral site. Now, I'm firmly convinced FanDuel would have Texas Tech favored. So the Texas Tech-Utah comparison here, that is one area where it's very obvious to me the model is higher on Utah than the odds makers would be. Right? The model loves Utah. We are a Utah show now. Notre Dame's at number 9. Texas is number 8. So Texas right now against Oklahoma, neutral field, would be a 4-point favorite if the model made the line. Texas was 1 spot ahead of OU in the playoff rankings. Texas is 1, 2, 3, about 6 spots ahead of OU in the model, which isn't comparable to rankings, but they would be a 4-point favorite. That's something to note. Texas goes to Georgia next week. Georgia's power rated 7th. Ole Miss is 6th. And the top 5 is Oregon, Alabama, Texas A&M, Indiana, and Ohio State. Quickly, we got hit up by FanDuel today. They said, hey, we're putting the Big Ten championship game up. I said, excuse me? Said, yeah, people can bet on it. So as of now, you can go bet on Ohio State versus Indiana. It's not locked in that that's going to be the matchup, but it's pretty much locked in that that's going to be the matchup. And if it's not, you just get your money back. Ohio State opens as a 3.5-point favorite. I looked at the model. The model would have Ohio State as a 3.5-point favorite. So we fully agree with FanDuel there. And as far as the gap between 1 and 3, because we got a couple of SEC teams there, A&M and Bama, 3 and 4, and they're rated about the same. Ohio State would be a 5.5-point favorite, according to the model, against A&M. So there you go. That's what the JP poll has right now. You can go to FanDuel, and you won't see the JP poll over there, but you will see some of those games I just mentioned. And you will even see some future matchups, like Ohio State, Indiana. And you can go sign up right now, FanDuel.com/Josh Pate. Bet $5, and if it hits, you get $150 in bonus bets. Just as soon as you walk in the door, they say, hey, pick a game. Whatever, bet $5 on it. If it hits, we're going to give you $150 in bonus bets. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. It is time, by the way, for a lot of the conference championship pictures to fully come into form. So, like, if you're looking to get big value, this is one of the last weekends to be betting those teams at like plus 550, plus 650 if you really think they could win the conference. So get those bets in. And if you don't bet at all, that's cool too. If you're just curious to look around at what the odds are / would be, you can go over there.